morning and welcome to Around the World in 274 Days. Today we are in Uruguay and the city of Montevideo, and we are going to take a walking tour around the city. So come on.
Montevideo, for example, is a city that has been declared by UNESCO as a creative city. We drink the tea by sucking through the silver straw that goes inside, like is buried inside herbs. So I call it the reverse British way, because the Brits, what they do is grab a cup, pour water onto it, then get herbs in and out. We don't do that. We pour herbs first, then pour water, and then suck that water through the herbs, which is very much more intense.
These are the silver straws that our guide was talking about on how they drink their tea.
We have 3 times the amount of cows than of people here. So you're going to be able to see very good quality leather, and UNESCO has actually declared the working of raw leather, such as my belt, which is raw leather from here, as intangible World Heritage. So we're part of that. Instead, we had no water service, so you're going to come across a couple of fountains like these ones, which were strategically placed to access water from common wells, because there were no pipelines. So we're going to go over here.
Montevideo has numerous parks in the area, filled with beautiful statues and monuments. It's really a beautiful city.
This beautiful red flower, is Uruguay's national flower. It's called ceibo. It can be found in yellow, in white, or in red, and it has affinity to water.
So this tile here, there's an artist that every time there's a square that's broken, he comes in and fixes it, but uses artwork to fix the broken tile. Once again, I find the graffiti artwork on the buildings fascinating. That one there even is talking about Trump. The street vendors are everywhere, as are the homeless. We went into the main post office here to see a statue of their version of George Washington, and his name is Jose Artigas. And he was a soldier and a statesman, national hero, and is considered to be the father of Uruguay. We'll see more of him in a minute.
The real name of Montevideo was a lot to do with Catholicism, which, it's like the bell rings every 30 minutes, so it's now 10:30. We're exactly halfway through our So, the original name of Montevideo was St. Philip and St. James of Montevideo. Who are these people? Well, St. James was Jesus' cousin. He was so similar to him, feature-wise, long hair, long beard, that Mary even sometimes got them too confusing. And St. Philip was the person that asked Jesus, how are you going to feed all of these people with just fish and bread? That instance related in the Bible was with St. Philip. They happened to both be buried in the same place in the same day, in the Basilica of the Holy Apostles in Rome. So, since they were buried in the same day, the Catholic Church decided to use the same day, May 9th, to pay tribute to them. So, they were chosen to be the patron saints of Montevideo. So, when we go into the church, you're going to see that in the middle of the church, you're going to see the Holy Mary, and to the sides, St. Philip and St. James, 2 men. So, in the day of St. Philip and St. James, there used to be a beautiful traditional ceremony which took place starting from the town hall. There was a ranking officer called the Royal Ensign that would hop on a horse from the town hall, waving a flag, going around the whole city on the horse with the flag, and a lot of people following the horse and him, which would end in a collective mass in the middle of this church, and then everyone would go back to their homes to have a feast, a buffet, and then they would light candles to like pay homage to the saints and it was the only night in the year in which Montevideo lit up completely, because everybody was lighting up a candle and there was no electricity in it. So that's good to know. So the church was always here since 1724, but it's, as was the case of the bank that was demolished and then rebuilt, several versions of this church were built here. This is the current one. It went from a church to a chapel to a basilica to a cathedral. It's now the cathedral. Several popes came to visit: Pope Pius IX, Leo III, John Paul II. So you should know that. It was also built by granite and marble from our nearby quarries. And we're going to go inside, and when you go inside and you see this way, you're going to see a beautiful sculpture of a man, like of a priest, that happened to be beatified this year.
The Metropolitan Cathedral of Montevideo is the seat of the Catholic Church in Uruguay. As the guide said, it dates back to originally 1740, with the current building being built started in 1790. Of all the churches we visited since we started this cruise, this cathedral is probably the prettiest and most preserved church we've been in. It's just absolutely beautiful. Here's another of the beautiful municipal parks that they have in the city. This one had some interesting pieces to it. Freemasonry was very big here, and as we look at a certain part of the fountain right here, you'll see masonry symbols there. There's the square and a few other things. Here's our guide explaining to us that because of the number of cattle they have in Uruguay, the ozone layer has been depleted more than other areas because of the methane gas that is given off by the farts of the cows.
Biotypes of cows. So, in order to make milk, we use the milky cows, which are slimmer, and for beef, we use the buffer cows.
As mentioned earlier by our guide, Montevideo has been identified as a city of art, and here in their main streets and their walking areas, here they have paintings from famous art masters and many art galleries. Here's one. You can definitely see the influence of Picasso in some of their paintings.
Created in 1837 as a shout of independence. It's called Independence Square, and it's the biggest open space monument that we have. It's actually a monument in and of itself, this square. We have 33 palm trees, which is a hidden symbol of the Freemasons, because 33 was their favorite number, or is, because it still exists. And you should know that this square was made when the fortress was demolished. The fortress that you saw, like the design that surrounded the city, was demolished, and then we expanded into here. And it was kind of a statement to say, like, look, we can finally go out of that confined space that we were in for 100 years.
I mentioned we'd hear more about Jose Artigas, And here, as we go down under the plaza, we find the final resting place of Jose Artigas. And as you go in, reminded me of the Unknown Soldier in Washington, D.C., and of Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, where they have their remains and the guards standing, and that's where his ashes are. But again, this was the father of their country. This is all that remains of the original fortification and walls that used to surround the city. And as he said, they were taken down and the city could expand to fill up greater spaces. So here we are taking a break in Montevideo. Someone's gone inside the store to buy some laundry detergent. And Carl and I are just chilling. Okay, we are having lunch at a Uruguayan restaurant just off the street, as you can see. And I think we're having beef. Because what else would we eat in South America but beef? We just brought our food, and guess what? We're having
more meat,
more steak, more everything.
But the thing is,
we're sharing.
If you're in a country where there are more,
we're sharing a plate.
you're gonna have to eat.
This rangefinder is all that remains of the Gaspre, a German cruiser that was scuttled in the harbor of Montevideo to keep it from being captured by the British Navy during World War II. If you enjoyed our little walking tour of Montevideo, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel Around the World in 274 Days. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime we post a new video. Our next video will be of Iguazu Falls, that is both in Brazil and in Argentina. Thanks for watching.